नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जायमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. We are reading from Canto 4, Chapter 24, chanting of the song sung by Lord Shiva, that is Rudra Gita. So this chapter is divided into four sections, and the first section, text 1 to 15, we are seeing description of Prithu Vamsha. So Prithu Maharaj had five sons, and the eldest son, Vijitashva, who is also known as Antardhan, he became the next emperor. He divided the kingdom amongst all his other brothers in four directions, and thus they together ruled. And yesterday we have seen very important topic of how Lord Indra was very pleased with son of Maharaj Prithu, because although he knew he is Indra, still with great grace and dignity Maharaj Vijitashva, he pardoned Indra, realizing that Indra is a great personality, somehow performing this abominable activity of stealing the horse and taking the different rupa to conceal this activity. So we come to text 6. राज्ञां वृद्धिकरानन्दान् दण्डशुल्कादिदारुणं मन्यमानो दीर्घसत्र व्याजेन विसर्जः. Translation.
Whenever Antardhan, the supreme royal power, had to exact taxes, punish his citizens, or fine them severely, he was not willing to do so. Consequently, he retired from the execution of such duties and engaged himself in the performance of different sacrifices. Purport. It is clear herein that the king sometimes has to perform duties which are not very desirable just because he is the king. Similarly, Arjuna was not at all willing to fight because fighting or killing one's own kinsmen and family members is not at all desirable. Nonetheless, the Kshatriyas had to perform such undesirable actions as a matter of duty. Maharaj Antardhana was not very happy while exacting taxes or punishing the citizens for their criminal activities. Therefore, on the plea of performing sacrifices, he retired from the royal majestic power at a very early age. Hare Krishna.
So Maharaj Antardhan, as a part of the kingly duties, he was supposed to extract taxes. Why extract taxes? Because nobody likes to pay tax, either this age or the previous age. Taxes are always, painful. People want to hide, and you have to extract taxes or punish the citizens or fine them severely, and he was not very willing to do so. Being a very kind-hearted personality, and therefore he took early retirement and engaged himself in performance of different sacrifices. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that these are the duties of the kings and these are the thankless job of a Kshatriya. Kshatriya has to perform sometimes such undesirable activities as a matter of duty. Example is Arjuna, who had to fight, and fight with whom? Drona, Bhishma. So these are the people Arjuna is supposed to fight with. So there Arjuna says, my dear Lord, you are known as Madhusudana, and you want me to become a Drona Sudana, Bhishma Sudana. He's my guru, he's my grandfather. How can I kill them in the matter of the duty? And this was a great dilemma before Arjuna. And therefore, on the plea of performing the sacrifices, he retired from the royal majestic power at a very early age. Right. So, the plea of performing sacrifices. It is not that these Kshatriya activities, Kshatriya is positively looking forward. There is a difference between Duryodhana fighting and Arjuna fighting, right? Duryodhana is always yudsukha, always eager to fight. But Arjuna always knew the consequences of the war, and therefore he always avoided the war. And sometimes Kshatriya has to do such activities. In the history of Maratha Samraj, there is a great personality, Hiroji Indalkar, who erected Raigad. Okay. And then later time, because of something, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj had to punish Hiroji Indalkar. So recently, when we visited Raigad, there is on the one, Hiroji Indalkar, he utilized his entire property to build the Raigad, and he built. It took him 14 years to build, and at the end, Shivaji Maharaj had to punish him for certain, the activities that happened. So these are, the thankless jobs which are the Kshatriya has to perform. Maharaj Vijitasva Antardhan was not very willing to, and on the plea of performing sacrifice, he came out of this, the kingly duties. Text 7. Tatrapi hamsam purusham paramatmanam atmadrak Vyajasto lokat amapa kushalena samadhina. Translation.
Translation: Although Maharaj Antardhana was engaged in performing sacrifices, because he was a self-realized soul, he very intelligently rendered devotional service to the Lord, who eradicates all the fears of his devotees. By thus worshipping the Supreme Lord, Maharaj Antardhana, wrapped in ecstasy, attained his planet very easily. Purport: Since sacrifices are generally performed by fruitive actors, it is specially mentioned here Tatrapi, that although Maharaj Antardhana was externally engaged in performing sacrifices, his real business was rendering devotional service by hearing and chanting. In other words, he was performing the usual sacrifices by the method of Sankirtana Yajna as recommended herein. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnoha, Smaranam Padasevanam, Archanam Bandhanam Dashyam, Sakhyam Atmanivedanam. Bhagavatam 7.5.23. Devotional service is called Kirtana Yajna, and by practicing the Sankirtana Yajna, one is very easily elevated to the planet where the Supreme Lord resides. Out of the 5 kinds of liberations, achieving the same planet where the Lord resides and living with the Lord, where the Lord resides and living with the Lord there is called Salokya liberation. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Tatrapi, and thus, despite of his engagement, Hamsam, look at the translation of the word Hamsam, one who kills the distress of his kinsmen. Okay, very beautiful word. So, ultimate distress is Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi, and one who kills that distress is called as Paramahamsa. Right. Tatrapi Hamsam Purusham. So, although Maharaj Antardhan was engaged in performing these sacrifices, he was a self realized personality and very intelligently rendered devotional service. So, while conducting his business as a king, he was very intelligent, and even while performing the sacrifice, he did not become Vedavadarata Partha. Right, he did not get caught up in the sacrifice. Later, we are going to see one of the descendant, Prachina Barhi, was caught up in the sacrifice. Right. But here, Maharaj Antardhan very intelligently performed the sacrifice, keeping devotional service as the priority. Correct. Jnana Karma Adi Anavritam. His devotional service was not covered by the sacrifice. Bhagavad Gita calls this as Yoga Karma Kaushalam. Very expertly, one has to be engaged in devotional service, not getting caught in the worldly duties or otherwise, even the ritualistic duties. Wrapped in ecstasy, he attained his planet very easily, right? Wrapped in ecstasy, Magna Chittaha, he attained the same planet, Kushalena Samadhina, right? So, very, very beautiful words. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains the word Tatrapi. That means, although Maharaj Antardhan was externally engaged in performing sacrifices, his real business was rendering devotional service by hearing and chanting. And then Srila Prabhupada quotes Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam. These are very important parts. What that means is, again, progressively, as age appropriate, one has to increase one's focus on the Supreme Lord. Of course, this is, I mean, divorce somebody who is in 12th standard preparing for JE or NEET and doing devotional service, and somebody who is touching 60 and performing devotional service, things will be different as per Desha Kala Patra, age appropriate. But the goal is one should be focused progressively on Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. And this happens with time and it needs time. It is not that simply we have free time, we engage. No, we will watch Dhurandhar 3 times in the free time. So it takes time, and therefore devotional service is Anushilanam. We have to cultivate devotional service, seeing that we are progressively getting more and more attached to the Supreme Lord. Right. And then he attained the same planet where the Lord is, the Pranadhan deity, Lord Vishnu resides. That is, he attained, Prabhupada writes here, Salokya liberation. Salokya, on the same loka of the Supreme Lord, attaining Vaikuntha. Text 8. Havirdhanat virdhani vidurasu tashapsutan barhirpadam gayam shuklam krishtam satyam jitapratam. Translation.
Havirdhan, the son of Maharaj Antardhan, had a wife named Havirdhani, who gave birth to 6 sons named Barhishat, Gaya, Shukla, Krishna, Satya, and Jitavrat.
So Havirdhan, Antardhan, his eldest son was Havirdhan. And Havirdhan's wife's name is Havirdhani. And she gave birth to 5 sons. And these are Shatsutan, gave birth to the 6 sons, Shatsutan. Bahirpadam, Gayam Shuklam, Krishnam Satyam, Jitapratam. So these are the names of the 6 sons. Bahirpadam, Gayam, Shuklam, Krishnam, Satyam, Jitapratam. Right. So these are the 6 sons. Now we come to text 9. Bahirshaksu Mahabhago Havirdhani Prajapati Kriyakandeshu Nishmato Yogeshu Cha Urudvaha. Translation.
The great sage Maitreya continued, My dear Vidura, Havirdhana's very powerful son named Barhishat was very expert in performing various kinds of fruitive sacrifices, and he was also expert in the practice of mystic yoga. By his great qualifications, he became known as Prajapati. Purport. In the beginning of the creation, there were not many living entities, and consequently, the very powerful living entities or demigods were appointed as Prajapatis in order to beget children and increase the population. There are many Prajapatis, Brahma, Daksha, and Manu are sometimes known as Prajapatis, and Barhishata, the son of Havirdhana, became one of them.
Yeah. So this Barhishat was Kriya Kandeshu Nishnato. So he was very expert in performing the fruitive activities. And thus, again, he was extremely powerful king. And such powerful personality who was expert in Kriya Kanda, they were given the task of Prajapati, and he very happily became the Prajapati. And he was Kriya Kandeshu Nishnato. So just previously we have seen Kushalena, and here it is Kriya Kandeshu Nishnato. What this means is that if we do not conduct our devotional service very expertly, there is always a chance of becoming Kriya Kandeshu Nishnato. We may come down to the level of Kriya Kanda. Okay. So, and therefore, the way Rupa Goswami writes the definition of devotional service, Anyabhirashita Shunyam, Jnana Karmadi Anavritam is very, very important. Otherwise, our devotional service may become covered over by various Upadharma, making us Kriya Kandeshu Nishnatu. Text 10. Yasyedam devasya janam yajanam anuyatnyam vitanvatah prachinagrair kushairase asrutam vasudhatalam. Translation.
Maharaja Barhishat executed many sacrifices all over the world. He scattered kusha grasses and kept the tops of the grasses pointed eastward. Purport. As stated in the previous words, Kriya Kandeshu Nishnataha. Maharaja Barhishat dived very deeply into the fruitive activities of the sacrifice. This means that as soon as he finished one yajna in one place, he began performing another yajna in the intermediate vicinity. At the present moment, there is a similar need to perform Sankirtan Yajna all over the world. The Krishna consciousness movement has started performing Sankirtan Yajna in different places, and it has been experienced that wherever Sankirtan Yajna is performed, many thousands of people gather and take part in it. Imperceptible auspiciousness achieved in this connection should be continued all over the world. The members of the Krishna consciousness movement should perform Sankirtan Yajnas one after another, so much so that all the people of the world will either jokingly or seriously chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And thus they will derive the benefit of cleansing the heart. The holy name of the Lord, Hare Nama, is so powerful that whether it is chanted jokingly or seriously, the effect of vibrating this transcendental sound will be equally distributed. It is not possible at the present moment to perform repeated yajnas as Maharaja Barhishat performed, but it is within our means to perform Sankirtan Yajna, which does not cost anything. One can sit down anywhere and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. If the surface of the globe is overflooded with the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, the people of the world will be very, very happy. Thank you.
Maharaj Barhishat, he executed many sacrifices all over the world. And he was very expert. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, Kriya Kandeshu Nishnatam. He was very deeply dive into the fruitive activities of sacrifice. And he oriented the kusha grass such that the top of the grass pointed eastern direction. So somebody has done this, right? And it was Maharaj Prachina Barhishat, who was later known as Prachina Barhishat, because even at the old age he was performing all these sacrifices. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that Prachina Barhishat, he was very Kriya Kandeshu Nishnatam, very deeply into the fruitive activities. As soon as he finished one yajna at one place, he used to start another yajna immediately. It's like, we are staying in 2 BHK flat. By the time one Satya Narayan Homa is done in one place, another room you start the Narasimha Homa, third room you start some Vishnu Yaga, something like that. Okay, so he was just doing one after another, and Prabhupada says that in the immediate vicinity, these yajnas were going on. At the present moment, there is a similar need to have the Sankirtana Yajna. And His Grace Radhesham Prabhu, he has taken up this task of having lots of Sankirtana Yajna everywhere. Every day in the morning, this couple of days he was in our society, Golok Vrindavan. So every day in the morning from 7 o'clock to 7:30, he goes out for Sankirtan. Wherever he is, he takes out. So much so that, somehow what has happened is in the devotee community, there is always great that very intelligent people come and join the movement, but everything comes with a fallback. And now what has happened is giving a scholarly class has become the benchmark of, has become just the benchmark. There are so many devotees who are like, they feel that very strongly, they feel that people become Bhakti Shastri, people become Bhakti Vaibhav, Bhakti Siddhanta, Bhakti Sarvabhauma and everything but how many times you are hitting the road for Sankirtan? Previously, the devotees were very, in a way, have had the basic understanding of Bhagavad Gita, but they had time to hit the road. Now, what has happened is we have forgotten our main business, and the main business is Yagyai Sankirtana Prayai Yajantihi Sumedasah. Our main business is doing Sankirtana Yagya. And Prabhupada says here that therefore, in different places, so Radhesham Prabhu, he was giving a lecture to all the counselors, and he said that once in 3 months, the counselor meeting should be that you, just like you go to different places, counselors places to have the meeting, and once in 3 months at least you have the meeting, everybody on the street, go around, do Sankirtan for 2 hours, come back, take prasadam, do another kirtan, closing kirtan, and then the meeting is over. So once in 3 months we should have at least this meeting. But ideally, it is the duty of the devotee to go out and perform Sankirtan. And Srila Prabhupada has written, so the time will come when there will be lots of Sankirtan happening everywhere. And we also have to take that responsibility of performing Sankirtan. Right. Incidentally, we started morning reading much before Radhesham Prabhu's 7 to 7:30 Sankirtan. But Sankirtan is amazing, Like one devotee was a bit reluctant in Brahmachari ashram. So, and so I was talking to him that, I was telling him that, the heart is considered as a muscle. And just like every muscle needs exercise, heart muscle can be exercised only through legs. Okay. This I am quoting from 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So the heart muscle can be exercised only through legs. And if you walk every day, therefore walking is considered very important to keep heart healthy and overall person healthy. Okay, this is a very, very ritualistic explanation I was giving to him. And then I was telling him that if you walk 20 25 minutes every day, that is considered wonderful. And if you walk with somebody, that's even better. And walk with somebody with accompanied music, that's even better. And walk with somebody singing, dancing, that is the best. And what is that? That is Harinam Sankirtan. So Prabhupada says, that material good well-being automatically follows spiritual well-being. Similarly, just do Harinam and you will be so all right. Of course, this is a very low-class explanation of Harinam. That is not the purpose of Harinam. But the point here is we have to go out and hit the road. Right. To begin with, at least once in 3 months. Prabhupada says here, when such Harinam is there, people come together and people chant the holy names. People, sometimes jokingly they chant, Hare Krishna, they're walking, time pass kar rahe, kuch kaam dhanda nahi hai, whatever it is. But whatever way they hear the holy name, they chant the holy name, they are always benefited. Sanketyam parihasyam va stobham helanameva va vaikunthanama grahanam asheshaga haram viduhu. Either to indicate something, parihas, one is doing jokingly chanting, stobham, one is chanting for the musical entertainment, or helanam, very neglectfully somebody is chanting, Vaikuntha Nama Grahanam, because he is chanting the holy names, Vaikuntha Nama Grahanam. Srila Prabhupada 2 times quotes Mahamantra here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vaikuntha Nama Grahanam, Ashesha Gaharam Viduhu. Right? It will destroy their unlimited sinful activities and their devotional service will begin by this chanting the holy name. If the surface of the globe is overflooded by this chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the people of the world will be very, very happy. So this is a very important thing. And as a devotees, we have to take this responsibility to hit the road. Previously, devotees were known for Sankirtan. And now again, we have to make this as a priority. And it is not that hit the road means we need some, 20 devotees to hit the road. In the foreign countries, there are like, 2 families will come together, 5, 6 of them. One will be playing Mridanga, another will be playing Kartal, and they will hit the road. This, the culture we have to inculcate. And Radhesham Prabhu, this is one of his very intense desires. I don't know, he wants to do that. Text 11. सामुद्रीं देवदेवोक्तो मूयपेये ऋतद्वितं यां भिक्ष चारुवाङ्घ्री किशोरीं सृष्टलङ्गतां परिक्रम्यान्तिमुद्वाहे चकमेऽग्निशुकीमिव. Translation.
Maharaj Barhishat, henceforward known as Prachina Barhi, was ordered by Supreme Demigod Brahma to marry the daughter of the ocean named Shatadruti. Her bodily features were completely beautiful and she was very young. She was decorated with the proper garments, and when she came into the marriage arena and began circumambulating it, the fire god Agni became so attracted to her that he desired her company, exactly as he had formerly desired to enjoy Shuki. Purport. In this verse, word Sushtva Alankrutam is significant. According to the Vedic system, when a girl is married, she is very profusely and gorgeously decorated with costly saris and jewelry. And during the marriage ceremony, the bride circumambulates the bridegroom 7 times. After this, the bridegroom and bride look at one another and become attracted for life. When the bridegroom finds the bride very beautiful, the attraction between them immediately becomes very strongly fixed. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, men and women are naturally attracted to one another, and when they are united by marriage, that attraction becomes very strong. Being so strongly attracted, the bridegroom attempts to set up a nice homestead of and eventually a good field for producing grains. Then children come, then friends, and then wealth. In this way, the male becomes more and more entangled in the material conception of life, and he begins to think, this is mine, and it is I who am acting. In this way, the illusion of material existence is perpetuated. The word Shukim Eva are very also significant, for the fire god Agni became attracted by the beauty of Shatadruti while she was circumambulating the bridegroom Prachina Bharhi, just as he had previously been attracted by the beauty of Shuki, the wife of Saptarshi. When the fire god had been present long ago at the assembly of Saptarshi, he was attracted by the beauty of Shuki when she was circumambulating in the same way. Agni's wife, named Swaha, took the form of Shuki and enjoyed the sense gratification life with Agni. Not only the fire god Agni, but the heavenly god Indra, and sometimes even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, all very highly situated demigods, are subject to being attracted by sensual life at any time. The sensual drive is so strong in these living entities that the whole material world is running on sensual attraction only, and it is due to sensual attraction that one remains in the material world and is obliged to accept different types of the bodies. The attraction of sensual life is more clearly explained in the next verse.
Maharaj Barhishat, and later henceforth he is known as Prachina Barhi, because even up till old age he remained as a king and he was doing so many sacrifices. And later Narad Muni is going to very, trollingly, in a trolling way, he's going to instruct this Prachina Barhi. Okay, story of Puranjan and everything. So Narad Muni is going to do his wonderful job. So Prachina Barhi, he was ordered by Brahmaji to marry Shatadruti. Shatadruti was extremely beautiful and was very young, right? So this sense of beauty is unimaginable in Kali Yuga. So Shatadruti was so beautiful that when she was circumambulating the fire god Agni became attracted to her, just like he was previously attracted to Shukim Iva, towards Shuki, the wife of Saptarshi. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that how the word Salankritam is very important, because when the girl is married, she is profusely and gorgeously dressed with the costly saris and the jewelry. So, and this jewelry is known as Tridhana, and nobody has right over the Stridhana, even the husband, right? The Stridhana is immune to all kinds of, the bank procedures and everything. I mean, this Stridhana is considered to. So when we see that Lord Ram is abandoned, is given Vanvas, and mother, Sita also follows, and she is dressed. She is, she has the jewelry with her, and the jewelry. This is considered Mother Sita's property. That was not the property of Ayodhya. So this Stridhana is very importantly described in the Shastras and also in the modern law, right? And then there is a circumambulating ceremony, and Prabhupada says this is after circumambulation, the first time the boy and girl will see each other. This was the previous times how this was, and thus they will become very fixed. And then there is a description of how there is aham mameti, and the material, the life continues in the form of, Sutta Apta Dhanajana Vittaihi, so on and so forth. Srila Prabhupada explains Shukimiva means that the fire god, this was the second instance of getting attracted. So now, all these personalities, even the attraction on the mind level, mental level, is also considered a kind of, a fall down for them, or a kind of at least a blemish on them. So not attracted means grossly attracted, but even getting attracted was considered a blemish on Agnidev here. So Shuki was a wife of Saptarshi, and previously at the assembly of the Saptarshi, when fire god, when he saw Shuki, he was attracted, and the Swaha, wife of fire god, took form of Shuki and pacified Agnidev, and this is how his wife basically protected Agni, right? And therefore wife is called as Durga in the material life, because she protects the husband, and otherwise husband protects the wife from the impending dangers and the calamities of the material existence. And this is how Prachina Barhi got married to Shatadruti. So we will conclude here and continue tomorrow. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, Vedanta. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Hare
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dhanatran.
Hare Krishna, yes.
Prabhuji, you were saying about Sankirtan doing at least 3 months. When we started our Bhakti Kutir, Radhesham Prabhu also told us actually that we should go for at least at least once a month book distribution and Harinam. Book distribution we try to do it sometimes, Prabhuji, but Harinam Sankirtan, to do it we need a singer, Mridanga, Kartal player. So that's where we get upset. So how should we overcome this problem?
Yeah, so wonderful it is. I mean, see, one thing is having all facilities and starting. Another thing is starting and then eventually we receive the facilities. Right.
Okay.
So we should have faith in Harinam, that Harinam itself will take care. We should start whatever facility. There is no Mridanga player, no Mridanga. Okay, no problem. Go ahead. Let's go ahead with only with Kartal.
Okay.
Right. So, of course, I'm giving very theoretically, I'm saying this because I personally have to do this. But answer to this question is don't wait for, Mridanga player to join you. Don't wait for Kartal player to join. So we have to begin with whatever facility we have. Let's go ahead with Kartal. And eventually, within 6 months' time, some Mridanga player will be sent by the Lord.
Okay.
Right. Then some singer also will come. Then, then there will be somebody who will be playing harmonium. And then nowadays, we see in our Pune, there are wonderful devotees who will play harmonium on the mobile only. Mobile app harmonium that they connect, and beautiful singing goes on. Right. So let's begin with whatever we have. Right. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhupada.
Thank you,
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.